Hello and welcome to the Lost Media Chronicles, a show of which discusses various lost movies, music, art, and in this month's case, video games. First off, sorry about my absence. I know this channel has been inactive lately. I've been extremely burnt out, but I'm back at it now and it's all behind me. This month I'll give you guys 5 video game related topics as well as video game related vinyl videos. So let's get started with this month's first topic, Metroid. For the unfamiliar, Metroid is a series of video games produced by Nintendo. The brainchild of Yoshio Sakamoto, its games have all been universally praised. It features Samus, a space bounty hunter who explores various planets, battling other bounty hunters and alien menaces. The games reward exploration and are known for their balls-to-the-wall difficulty. To understand Metroid lost media, it helps to know its history. The first Metroid game was released in 1986. Today it's seen as a milestone for platform games. The sequel, Metroid II: Return of Samus, was released in 1991. In this game, Samus travels to planet SR-388 to exterminate the Metroid menace. The game is notable for its ending, in which Samus makes a decision that creates consequences seen in future games, saving a baby Metroid. It's seen as a worthy successor to the original. Now, to understand the lost media behind this game, we have to look at another beloved Game Boy game, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. It received a re-release/update in 1998 titled Link's Awakening DX. It had color graphics, updates, and a new dungeon. It's seen as the definitive version of the game. What a lot of people don't know is that Metroid 2 was also supposed to have a DX version. It was revealed in an issue of German magazine Club Nintendo. This version was scrapped for unknown reasons, with only a single screenshot surviving. The area in the image isn't in the original game. It's unknown if it's a piece of a final product or if it's a mock-up. Fans want it found to compare it to the fan recreations. No ROMs or demos have ever surfaced. Return of Samus did get an official remake in 2017 for the 3DS. Metroid continued to evolve. Super Metroid was released in 1995 to critical acclaim, and it is regarded as the best game in the series. Around this time, the 5th generation of video games was starting and everything was being pushed into the 3rd dimension. Nintendo successfully integrated both Zelda and Mario, so the question started to arise whether if Metroid was going to get the same treatment. Years passed and not much was said. Sakamoto pitched the idea for Metroid 64 to Nintendo, but they wanted to make sure that whatever game came next did Super Metroid justice. Sakamoto couldn't figure out how to make the game playable on an N64 controller, so he abandoned the idea. However, despite the lack of evidence, some fans believe that Metroid 64 got to the beta stages. No demos were ever shown at E3, and no games were ever officially announced. Fans sometimes still speculate that Nintendo got the game off the ground, but the product was so terrible that they kept it unreleased. This is incredibly unlikely, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. Metroid eventually made its jump to 3D with Metroid Prime by American company Retro Studios under the watchful eye of Nintendo. The first game was a hit, so it warranted a sequel. Not long after the first game was released, Tony Giovanni, one of its creators, was tasked with penning an idea document for Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. This document, dubbed Metroid 1.5, was leaked in 2018 and it showed us a different game. This version featured a mad AI as the main enemy, took place on a single ship, and had mechanics involving gravity and time slowing down. The biggest difference was the multiplayer. Not only was there a competitive multiplayer, but a co-op mode as well. It's unknown why so many of these great ideas were scrapped. Not that what we got was a bad product, but this looks like it could have been the best Prime game. It's unknown how many, if any, of these elements made it into early versions of the game. Only Giovanni's document and artwork by Andrew Jones survive. Alongside the Metroid Prime games, Nintendo developed 2 platformers for the Game Boy Advance, Fusion and Zero Mission. Both games had versions shown at E3s in 2001 and 2003 that were different from their final version. Fusion had more realistic graphics and had Samus walking on the ceiling. It only survives as a camcorder recording by a spectator. Zero Mission featured a style more akin to chibi. This demo also only exists in a recording, albeit in higher quality. Early versions of both games have never leaked, and it's unknown if they survive anywhere. Not long after the GBA games were finished, a DS game, Metroid Dread, was announced. It was first mentioned in a June 2005 issue of Game Informer. More details were discussed in the magazine's online forums, where it was revealed to be a side-scrolling sequel to the GBA games. Nintendo neither confirmed nor denied its existence. In a February 2006 issue of Official Nintendo magazine, Dread was given a release date of November. Fans got excited. However, the release got pushed off. Nintendo never announced the game's cancellation, but it speculated that it was shelved for unknown reasons. In September of 2007, Nintendo said that they were not working on any new side-scrolling Metroid games. Fans even thought that there was a reference to Dread in Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, though its creators denied this. In the 2010s, more details came to light regarding Dread. In a 2010 IGN podcast, editor Craig Harris confirmed that the story to Dread was finished and that Nintendo was in possession of it. In July 2015, Liam Robinson, a Nintendo software technology insider, confirmed that Dread had a working prototype finished in 2008 and was secretly shown to Nintendo of America staff at E3 2009. Not much is known about this prototype other than it had a map on the bottom screen. Robertson confirmed in a follow-up podcast that Dread was dead in the water by 2010. Despite hopes of the game resurfacing, Dread has completely disappeared from the public eye. No ROMs, screenshots, or artwork have leaked. It remains the biggest mystery in the entire Metroid fandom. Going further into the 2010s, Metroid found its way onto the Wii U. On the launch title Nintendo Land, there was a Metroid-themed game called Metroid Blast. However, at E3 2011, there was a demo for it called Battle Me. This demo is yet to surface, though fans argue as to whether or not it's significant, seeing as it wasn't much different from the final product. Finally, we have the cancelled Metroid 3DS game by Next Level Games. Nintendo tasked them with developing a game for the 3DS in a style that the series had never seen before. The game was shelved when Next Level Games was tasked with making Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. In 2015, artwork from the game leaked. According to Unseen64, there was a 30-second video that was made featuring Samus battling the enemy Kraid. This video has never surfaced. It's not known how far this game went into development, but it's interesting nonetheless. That's about it for Metroid Lost Media. I gotta admit, this topic ended up having a lot more than I thought. There's probably even more lost games and unreleased content from the series, but those have never been made public. Metroid is a beloved franchise with fans that appreciate the depth of each entry in the series. The exploratory nature makes you feel even closer to Samus as a character and helps you feel more accomplished as a player when you finish the game. That's why fans are so crazy about these lost games. They want to see the different iterations and the continuation of the story. That about does it for this episode. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on the video, and be sure to ring that little bell so that way you'll be notified when a new video is posted. If you liked what you saw here, please check out other episodes of the Chronicles. And if you're into vinyl, check out my other show, Adventures in Vinyland. As always, thanks for watching.